Mary Magdalene, Sexuality and Love Between Partners. Posted on July 16, 2021 by EraOfLight. Dear ones, I am Mary Magdalene. I speak to you with happiness and joy. I am proud of who you are and of who you have become. You are old souls who have already been on earth often, and you have withstood many fears. For a very long time, the earth has been in the grip of a consciousness that vibrates at a very low level. By a low vibrating consciousness, I mean a consciousness in which everything revolves around physical survival and a struggle for power. And that type of consciousness generates a lot of fear, fear of expressing yourself, fear of showing your true emotions, fear of letting your light shine. It generates an automatic reflex in you to hide and to keep yourself small out of fear of dangers or threats. And those threats have been real at earlier times when you lived on Earth. And in some places that threat still exists. When you come into this life, you arrive carrying a heavy load on your back. The respect I have for you, and the joy I feel for you, is because I am aware of the courage and determination in all of you present here. There is a dedication to a new consciousness in you. You have made the choice to really go into your own pain and to be aware of your negative beliefs. This courage and perseverance will bring you home even though the way sometimes seems to be endless and new obstacles loom up on the path. Still, there is an end to it. Eventually, you do arrive home, especially to yourself, to your own heart, and to your own abdomen. The abdomen is the basis of life on earth. You carry the higher energies in your heart, your soul memories, and there you form a connection with dimensions beyond the earthly. You all have felt at times a connection with your soul, a whisper in your heart, a strong feeling, a knowing. This is how the soul speaks to you. Many of you are very sensitive. You pick up energies and the moods of others and react strongly to external stimuli. Your heart is a sensitive organ, especially in those who have grown inwardly and whose inner consciousness vibrates at a higher level. And that is why the area of the abdomen is so important. It is in the abdomen where you are grounded enough to make a connection with the earth, with your body, and also with the instincts, the desires, the emotions, and the passions that live in the area of the abdomen. Only when heart and abdomen are connected can you truly ground those higher vibrations that you carry within you. You can really give them hands and feet in daily life on earth, where there still reigns so much struggle and fear. I ask you now to join me in connecting with the area of the abdomen, and to gently breathe into it without feeling pressured to do anything. Let your attention descend into your abdomen, and take all the time you need. Sense what it feels like inside there. It is like a dark space toward which you send the light of your attention. Through your breath, you inhabit your abdomen more fully. Go even deeper with your attention and descend to the root chakra, an energy center at the base of your tailbone. There you connect with Mother Earth, with this planet from which your body is derived. Feel how a flow from the earth greets you as a living being. The earth is itself a living consciousness that senses you and is aware of you. Entrust yourself to its strength, its rhythm, its wisdom. You and the earth are one in body, you inhabit one body, your body. Welcome yourself entirely as the physical being that you are. Feel the vulnerability, but also the great power, the forces of the earth. The earth is a natural creature that you see all around you, in the seasons, in the rhythms of night and day, in the coming and going of life, and in the continual renewal of all processes. The life in your abdomen, that all too human life of your emotions, your expectations, your desires, those also have a natural rhythm. But you have come to neglect that aspect of your being, in part, because in this society you have been trained to live in your head. That tendency may be getting somewhat better, but there is still a heavy legacy in which people tend to be in their head and try to think life through. All this worrying and planning is the reason why you are removed from the natural rhythms of your abdomen. It is also possible that you are connected to your heart and are very sensitive, and, because of that, you also suffer from a lack of connection with your abdomen. You then have an opening of your consciousness and your heart, but it still feels unsteady, it lacks the firmness that can only come through your earthly roots. This is what is happening to many light workers. Why is it so difficult to recover the area of the abdomen and to be at home there, and to have both heart and abdomen work together. While I am speaking, I ask that you keep your attention very lovingly and gently in the hollow of your abdomen. There lives your inner child. There lives your desire for intimacy, for connection, for friendship and love. And there you are also damaged, you have had your trust broken or you feared to show yourself. Enter this area with tenderness, for there lies the greatest treasure that you will ever find. When you are at home in your abdomen, with the emotions and feelings that live there, only then can your soul light truly descend to the deepest level. Then can you be free of fear and radiate your light and truly live. I now ask that you look at your inner child that lives in your abdomen. There lives a girl or a boy who is somewhat hidden, who has learned to remain small because there are all kinds of things it was not allowed to be or to do. Invite that child to now come play, approach it with reverence and ask it to emerge. Welcome the child within you, and ask what it needs from you. How can you know your own child and support it in everyday life? How can you empower it and encourage it? I would now like to say something on the theme of male and female energies, and about relationships. These two aspects of human life are very closely related and belong to the area of the abdomen. Sexuality and love between partners call up deep emotions in people, extremes of light and dark. At one pole there is the utter joy and ecstasy of being with a like-minded person, with the partner you love, and by whom you feel seen and recognized. In the beginning of a relationship, there are often moments of intense ecstasy and joy that you call infatuation. And that is an invitation to discover and to get to know each other. Everyone is deeply moved by this longing for love, for romantic love and sexuality. The deepest meaning of a sexual relationship comes when you meet each other at all levels, head, heart, and abdomen. This will open your soul to each other and give a huge boost to inner growth and self-realization. It is a love encounter that I call holy, and sexuality that is included in such a loving encounter is also holy. But there are many taboos created around sexuality. The so-called dark forces in a human passion and lust have long been condemned, and that is why it is no longer obvious for people to rely on those forces and to trust that they can naturally enter into this connection with the heart and the head. There has been a split inside people between what you call higher feelings and what you see as lower lust or desire, and this is a very artificial division that can drive people to despair, because you cannot live without the abdomen. You have to deal with your own cravings and desires, which sometimes transgress boundaries and of which you do not know how to deal, because this has not been taught to you. Spiritual traditions are not friendly toward these natural forces of passion and lust. Still, this is a friendship that I advocate. You can only build a bridge between heart and abdomen, between heaven and earth, if you trust the deepest forces that are present in your body. I want to come back to the beginning of a love relationship between two partners in which often a primal power arises that causes people to be carried away. Romantic love is something you cannot control. It more or less happens to you, you are overtaken by it. There is a great attraction to another person, and that forces you to let go of all the security measures and barriers that you had built up. You open up and become vulnerable in a relationship with another. If that person also feels the same way, then this could be the beginning of a beautiful and passionate encounter. As the two of you become closer, the infatuation will slowly be transformed into a more earthly love, a love that can also face the pain and the dark areas in the other and deal with them. And that is a step that is difficult for many people to take. What matters, when you discover a power of attraction, a romantic love, is that you make this an entry to all levels with another. Because sooner or later, there will emerge in your partner things that make you sad or angry. That person is not your savior. They are not the one who is going to make you or deliver you. What will save you are the insights that arise in a relationship, the insights that force you to observe your own darkness, your own unconscious desire for total love, and your own tendency to expect that from another. So, you see that a primal force, a force as natural as romantic love, first brings you into a state of ecstasy, but then forces you to go deeper into your own feelings. And by darkness, I do not mean something wrong or something bad, but simply the parts in yourself and in the other that may not have had a chance to already appear in the light. If you trust in the power of your abdomen, your desires and your passions, and you add a consciousness that observes alertly and does not judge, then begins a real transformation which a love affair can bring about. Then ecstasy and consciousness are joined together. Then you enter into a dance together that has heights, but also has many lows, and that means there is authenticity between two people, a well-founded real love. Once again, I ask you to become aware of your abdomen, your desire for love, for real human love in a relationship, but also as a friendship. When you are on intimate terms with another, there is always a dynamic of attraction, but there is also the necessity to stand still and become aware of what that other person touches or triggers in you. Trust this process, and do not become disappointed or disillusioned because of the pain that a deep relationship brings about. It is about you and how you learn and grow. Open yourself to the love from the level of your abdomen. Dare to live again and be open to a real connection with the other person. And also, if you are already in a relationship and you have become accustomed to each other, when you have lived together for a long time and know each other very well, remain open and feel again the wonder and the attraction that you once felt for your partner. Do not take for granted that you know the other well. There are always new and unknown areas in someone else's consciousness. When you feel this way, and you become aware of everything at the level of your abdomen, your soul's light can descend. The loving consciousness in your heart teams up with your earthly passions, your desires, and also with your pain, your doubt, and your fear. A true alchemy of consciousness then takes place in the connection between heart and abdomen. I thank you for your attention, and I want to ask you to open up for a moment to the great force of love that is present here from your guides and from the love in your own soul from all the light that is gathered here. Take it into yourself, it is for you and it is also you. Thank you. Channel, Pamela Cribb. Translation by Maria Bays and Frank Tayan. Copyright Jeshua.net. Permission is granted to copy and redistribute this article on the condition that the URL www.jeshua.net is included as the resource and that it is distributed freely. Email, Aurelia@jeshua.net.